Well, the main point that I've seen everywhere, and I was just in New York on a ride along this morning, and what I saw in New York shadowed or was very similar to what I saw in Chicago, where you have these sanctuary policies, these sanctuary communities that are protecting illegal aliens at the expense of their own communities, and it makes it very difficult. You're basically tying one hand of ISIS behind their back and trying to catch these guys. So they're having to go out there into these communities, chase these guys down when they could have picked them up in the jails. You know, in Chicago, when we were there, every single one of the people that we caught that day had been previously apprehended, were incarcerated by either the Illinois Corrections Department or the Chicago Cook County Corrections, and all of them were let out. None of their detainers were granted, and the same is true in New York. And so ICE is having to go back out into the community to track these guys down and basically catch them again. And all of that while we have hundreds of thousands of more that are in this country, really millions more that need to be caught. And so it's just an incredibly vast, almost, to Border Patrol's or to ICE's point, almost insurmountable number that they're having to do with limited resources. These guys they only have so many ICE agents. There are only so many law enforcement agents. But thank God for some of the red states where you have sheriffs and the 287G program that can help. But a lot more is going to have to be done in order to help ICE achieve their mission.
Absolutely, Ben. They are certainly just getting started on all of these deportation efforts. I believe we actually have a clip of your time in Chicago following along with these operations. Let's show our viewers that clip very quick.
In Chicago, Illinois, we're going to arrest public safety threats. We got all of government approach. We got U.S. Marshals, we got FBI, we got ATF, we got DEA, we got ICE, we got HSI, we got them all here. So the president's plan of all of government to attack illegal alien crime in this city, we're going to address it today, starting now.
We're going for. He's a citizen of Guatemala. He has a criminal history here for assault and battery with bodily harm. So our intent is to get in that area, get set up on it, and knock on that door and confirm that he's there. All right?
Thank you.
All right, any questions?
10, it's the 10 house. So what happens in that case?
Even if they open the door, unless he comes out or they give us consent to enter their home.
Wow.
We can't even reach in and pull them out.
Wow. So third target, we've got the suspect in custody. But you can just see how difficult this is, what these guys have to do in order just to get one apprehension. We've got Tom Homan, Dr. Phil back here.
Put it on the chat, please. Give me a pin on the chat.
I'll send it to you. Or I'll send it to you.
So the big takeaway so far today is just the difficulty what these guys are tasked with, having to go in house by house, having to knock, wait to be let in, or the suspect coming out, when, as we were just talking to the agent, 95% of these guys could be picked up in the jail, but because of their sanctuary policy, they have to be out here in the streets going to get them. So all thanks to Joe Biden, the previous administration, and all of these leftist NGOs that are guiding that previous policy, and the city of Chicago, state of Illinois, sanctuary communities.
We got 3 new targets that were just sent out from our command center. Yep. Actually 9. Out of those 9, I went through them just to get the ones with the cars. Those are the ones we're going to prioritize right now.
So explain that again to me. A lot of these folks we're going after now.
Yeah, we have a lot of recent entries that were allowed in at the border, and when they were allowed in, they were released under conditions that did specify that while you're in the United States awaiting your court hearing or awaiting your application to be processed, that you must abide by the laws here, right? Cannot commit crimes or be convicted of crimes or anything like that. So during this operation right now, we do have a significant amount of cases where those subjects have committed crimes here in Chicago. And those crimes vary from retail theft to actually being part of South American theft groups. We got a lot of them going on up here, to actual violent crimes, using weapons and things like that. So when we do target these individuals and apprehend them, that custody that they were released under initially at the border is going to be redetermined now here, interior, by an immigration judge.
How big of a nightmare does this make for you, what they did in the last administration for just your ability to do your job? Now you have that many, we're talking, the numbers we're talking about.
It's an overwhelming workload. That's the easiest way I can explain it, I think.